Alright, guys, welcome back. We're watching Maiden Abyss Season 2, Episode 4. Last time, we got familiarized with the village some. We met up with, well, Reg is meeting up with Faputa, who is the embodiment of value, kind of the princess, in a way, of the village. Princess of the Hollows is what they called her, I believe. A whole lot of stuff is going on. We're split up. We're splitting up with Rico. She has some stomach problems going on. Nana Cheese going off to get her some food. Regs, let's see, all three of us have just been split up completely. Even Prushka has been split up because she's the whistle and she's off with the other guy right now. So, man, everyone's split up. So, I don't know. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on with like value and stuff. Go listen to my last discussion for my ramblings about that. So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see what we're doing. So you can line your own copy up with this if you want to. We are starting episode 4 in 3, 2, 1. There she is, with, yeah, the big robot guy as well. Hmm. Yeah, and she was the one following us earlier. The red things on her head. Yeah, like that weird shot we got of her. So yeah, so then she would be the one. Oh, okay. Oh God. Man, she's a little bit intimidating, huh? Hi there. And there's the obvious potential connection between her and Iramuri, right? She sure is something. Very, yeah. He sure did. Oh. Oh. Memories. She knows him. They know each other. Okay. Yeah, she knows his name. Wow. Okay. I did not expect that at all. Yeah, she must have been, right? Oh, wow. They really, yeah. Really excited to see her. She's the embodiment of value. Oh, God. She is the man. She's very, amorphous, huh? Okay, off we go, I guess. Oh, Waco yet again. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Her saying that, Voiko saying those lines there, certainly makes me think then that Fapita isn't Iramui, right? Because Voiko has been like our narrator through all of this, right? She's kind of like replaced Liza, right? We had like those beginning things from Liza. A lot of this has felt like it's been like addressed to Iramuri, right? The very first one in episode 1 started with her saying like Iramuri, before I found you, there's something I was looking for, blah 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 blah. So like if that was also addressed to Iramuri, she just said like Fakuta, she was your final something, blah blah blah, whatever she just said there exactly. I don't remember the exact words, right? Um, like we got that shot last episode where we had Fakuta like fade out into Iramuri's face. That really makes you think, okay, that's Iramuri. But I don't think it is just based off that one line right there, right? Because then like who would Fabito be talking? I mean, who would Voiko, sorry, be talking about in that line? Who would she be addressing that line to, right? If that was Iramui, she'd just be calling her Iramui. She wouldn't be calling her Fapita, right? Yeah, no, it's not Iramui. Okay, certainly looks a lot like her, but it's not her. Hmm. God, I still have not like properly read the lyrics for this opening. I feel like I guess I kind of did last time, but I always talk during it. Friend. Hopefully Fakuta is a friend, huh? Com device not working. That is not good. That is not good, actually. Sure. I guess that's an improvement. I don't think we're going to be doing that. Oh, sure. I guess we need it for the stuff for Rico. Yeah, how do we get value? It's a maybe. Mm-hmm. Oh, a good question. Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, yeah. So it truly knows. Yeah, yeah. Looks at the signals. Interesting. Signals of the soul. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. I mean, that's already was essentially my interpretation of it, right? And that is very true. Like Bondrude. I wonder. Sure. That makes sense. Yeah. Hmm. If you lie about it and you believe it, then are you really lying? You know? Yeah, yeah. Good old MIDI. Hmm. MIDI? Are we still talking about MIDI? Okay, yeah. What? What do you mean? Okay. So, by masked man, I assume he means Bondrude. That he left behind. Did he clone MIDI or something? Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. So, has Bondrude been here before then? But how? Okay, I mean, like, we know he has, like, the multiple, he's immortal, essentially. Oh, whatever, we can't talk about it. We'll talk about it later. What's up, Fakata? You're kind of scary. Yeah. Didn't he say that same thing to Rico in episode 1? Yeah. Ugh, she's not gonna like that he forgot her, is she? Yeah, but she might know a lot more about you. Yeah, I mean, this is the first person we've met who knew Reg from before. Oh, God. Okay. There sure are some eyes, huh? Comm device in there. Yeah, sure. It's not working anyway. Well, you lost your memories anyway. Oh, God. I don't like that sound. Optus Precious. How close were they? Must have been very, I guess, right? Yeah. Oh, from Bondrood. Yeah. Oh, God. What? Please don't. Oh, God. What? Or okay. Right. Good. Thank you. That's gonna help the healing process, I'm sure. Yeah, have to do a taste test, obviously, of course. Literally. Thank you. Thank you. Haku. You said you'd bring Haku. Okay, so whatever Reg was doing, right? Whatever his goal was when he was going up, he was gonna bring Haku. Your Haku. Hmm. Okay. I would assume I would assume. Okay, what are we doing? Whoa. Sure, I suppose. Right, I did not think of that. Wait, that doesn't make any sense at all. Okay. Right. Hmm. We'll talk about it. We just don't have time right now. Okay. Living in the same time as the human child. Yeah. Hmm. Kind of the curse of immortality, right? Man. Oh, I think she's feeling very betrayed by the way you're behaving. Can't really blame her. Yeah. Oh. Because we don't know what their relationship was like before, right? And now we're like just acting like this when it seems like they were so close before. Oh man. There's the big clock tower. Yeah, yeah. Can you use it? Can you like try and get to the same angle you were at before, you know? Oh, hi there. Yeah, he's like one of the robots. Was he there? I guess. Yeah. Hmm. I know. It's how weird it must feel to know that you're just yeah, that you used to be such a different person, you know, that your memories really are what make you who you are, right? And that would be the worry that he wouldn't be himself anymore if he gained his memories back, you know, that he would change fundamentally. Yeah. Oh, this classic track, huh? Hmm. Okay. So they're all like funeral. Okay. I sure. I okay. I guess. What? I don't know what to make of that. What's up, Rico? Okay. Like great. Thank you. Thank God you have Minia with you. Probably really enjoying that. Oh God. It moves. Oh Jesus. Are we sure this is a toilet? Yeah, maybe it's not even a toilet, it's the bug eater. All right. Sure, true. Hmm. She seems to be doing better now, I guess. I'm worried about her going out and venturing off on her own, but ooh. So yeah, the only direction they could have went was out that way. Yes. Bunch of people gathering again. Oh, God. Yeah. Okay. Let's. Maybe we should just go back inside. Maybe we should just go back inside. Maybe we should just chill out, right? No, because she's a human child. She has the most value, right? Like, oh God. Ugh. But like, surely they won't do anything to her, right? Like, the balancing thing, right? They can't do anything to her. Surely. I wonder if smelling Minia does anything here. With like the weird being able to see the stuff, you know? I don't know what that means, unfortunately. Okay. Making a map, making a map. At least, yeah, at least we have Minya. At least we have Minya. I wish we had Prushka too. Okay, okay. We're doing something. Maybe we'll make some connections. So, okay. So I wonder, is she gonna find Majikaja? I assume after that talk with Nanachi, they went off to go, yeah. Hmm. Oh God. They're following her. Okay. Down here. Sure. Hi there. What's up, man? How's it going? Let's walk away. Okay. They can't do anything to her though, right? Because of the balancing thing, right? Surely they won't. Oh God. What are we doing here? What's happening? Yeah, what's up, man? How's it going? I literally. Oh God. Oh no. Who can possibly save us? Who is here who can possibly save us? No one is here. Oh God. Oh no. Not again. Okay, why he's alive. This guy's alive. Okay, somehow. After he got ripped apart. Well, I guess our savior's here. Can he beat the rest of them up? Or he only cared about Minya? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, we should get out of here. Quickly, probably. Yeah, let's go. Okay, I guess it just lets us out, right? We aren't the target of the bouncing, I guess. Oh, yeah. Okay. No, he looks so sad. Really regrets it, huh? Okay. I don't know how you're not dead. Yeah, you got literally ripped apart by the balancing, but just puts Minnie on her head. Okay, okay. Off we go. Hmm. It's whoa, whoa. Calm down. Okay, sure. You can come with me. Exactly. I guess you can redeem yourself. I'm guessing it's Ma. Yeah. They have the friendship aura around them. Perfect. Mhm, mhm. Sure. Very. So I guess we're going to go see a Midi, who is apparently here. Also, I realized I didn't say, he also said Bailoff in that sentence when he was talking about Midi. Ooh. A restaurant. Is it food that we can eat, though? Sure. I suppose. Really crammed in here. Yeah. Oh God. Don't think about that. Yeah, can't read it. What are we gonna eat? Just point at it. I'm sure they'll understand. What's up, green person? Sure. Okay, okay. True. If you say so. I hope it's not poisonous. That looks a little bit different. Okay. We just start eating it. We just dig in, I guess. Yeah, yeah, sure. Oh god. It popped. Okay. Nice. That looks like a bunch of like tongues, but sure. I bet it'll work. Nice. Oh god. What is Ma eating over there? Just dirt? Oh, you speak our language. Yeah. I guess that makes sense. Well, it's good, apparently. Yeah, I guess we knew some of them were cave raiders. Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's you. Hi, person who looks like Voiko's hair. Oh, it's Wazukyan. Okay, of the three sages. I guess they're all down here, huh? Okay, okay. What's up, Wazukyan? Oh, okay. And let's go see Bailoff. Oh, the door is made out of tongues. Right. Oh. Wait, have we seen this one before? Yeah, this is that one. Okay. Yeah, it's this is Bailoff. Wow, this does not look like him. I guess neither does Wazukyan, because I thought that was Voiko, because of the hair, that looks like the hair, but no, that's Wazukyan. Okay. Hmm. So how is Mitty here? Oh god. Man. With two eyes, too. It's like this is Mitty. Yeah. Voiko. Oh. Okay. With the balancing stuff. God, so okay. Okay. Hi, Voiko. Like chained up down here. Okay. Wow. Okay. There was so much stuff in that episode. I feel like I literally just like couldn't keep up mentally. There were so many things that were happening. It was like I had to like, man. Okay. Man. All right. Hmm. No, so much stuff. God, that was a fast episode, right? Just a lot of stuff to think about. Um. Okay. Um. Hmm. Gonna be lots of stuff to talk about, maybe. I don't know. Just lots of like plot stuff, that I'm just gonna have to like think about. All of the stuff with Fapata, all of the stuff with Midi, all of the stuff with Voiko. The three sages are down here. Like what else? Like I just like I don't know. Reg, uh, Midi, Bondrude being down here before. Like so much stuff. God damn. Hmm. Man, a good episode. A good episode. I just man. I feel like there's some things I like underreacted to in this because I was still processing like what was happening on the screen, and then just another thing was happening on the screen that I had to immediately be like paying attention to. I That's how like anime works, but you know what I mean. It was fast. I did my best. Concealment. Next episode. Alrighty. Concealment. Who would that be in reference to? Voiko, perhaps? Anyway, we'll talk about the episode in the discussion. Okay, let's talk about the episode. This was a packed episode in terms of just crazy lore stuff going on. Like, God, I'm man, this is the kind of episode normally I would just watch it again. But I don't know. Well, I guess I kind of do that when I go through them in the discussion sections anyway. So I don't know. Let's get started, I suppose. So we're starting off here with Reg and Faputa. So, okay. Faputa. I talked about this during the opening. Faputa can't just be Iramui, right? I keep calling her Iramui. Maybe that's not her name. Maybe Iramui is someone else. The little girl, right? I guess they haven't directly called her Iramui other than the very first line in episode 1. But I swear that has to be Waco talking about the little girl. But whatever. Faputa can't just be Iramui, right? Because of this line at the end of this scene where Rico says all this, right? Rico says, Faputa, she was born of a longing too fragile, too deep. You left her to posterity, your final. Your final something. Your final what, you know? Those lines, I explained my logic for this during the opening as well, when I was rambling. But Voiko has been our narrator for season 2 so far, kind of like replaced Liza in terms of being the, the person who says something meaningful at the beginning of every episode. And she, like the first one in episode 1 of this season, was addressed to Iramui. Like she said, Iramui, before I found you, there was something I was looking for, something like that, blah, 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 right? Fits along with like what Bailoff was telling her about the, the dark eyes, you need to cast your eyes on the darkness. That's what like Voiko found, right? So if like the context of a lot of these lines are they're like addressed to Iramui in some weird way, right? I don't think she's literally talking to her directly, but like, then I think that's like who this line is like meant to be addressed to essentially, right? So I don't think she's talking to. I don't think if Faputa was Iramui, she wouldn't be phrasing it in this way, right? I think if this line is meant to be essentially addressed to Iramui in like a weird sense, obviously Faputa can't be Iramui. So then, I mean, the question is, what is she? She's the embodiment of value. I thought that made a lot of sense if she was Iramui, because Waco would view Iramui as the embodiment of value. But Faputa is not Iramui. So what does that mean? I don't know. Then I don't know what Faputa is, right? What Faputa is kind of terrifying. That's one thing we know. She's this. How many arms does she have? 4, I suppose. She got 4 arms, and she is very, like, amorphous. She can really, like, transform into things, that's for sure. Yeah, 4 arms, like Nanachi. I mean, he thinks of her like Nanachi. Yeah, like a very sentient hollow, right? Like, even more so, even more like human it feels than, like, the other ones in the village, Like, those creeps who were in the alleyway that were trying to, steal Rico, they don't feel like really that human. You know what I mean? Faputa, Nanachi, they do like completely. So it makes you wonder, in what sense was Faputa like created? And maybe that makes sense because you would think if Iramuri was in the village, she would have gotten transformed into like a more monster-like hollow, just like all the other people in the village. And Faputa is different, So I guess that alone it makes sense why it's not Iramuri then. So yeah, we get lots of memories. They knew each other apparently quite well, it would seem. The first person we have met who knew Reg before he lost his memories, which is crazy. We just, like, what does Faputa know then, right? God. It really makes me think, and I'm going to hate this, it really makes me think that wherever the story is heading, we are never going to get the opportunity to actually ask her about Reg, right? But maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But I'm just thinking that we're never actually going to get to ask her, and we aren't going to get to know what Reg was like before. But who knows? Who knows? Man. So yeah, Fapita is pretty worried about Reg, obviously. I would be too. I feel bad for her, right? Because Reg is so different to her now, right? One thing that I think this kind of finally I've come to peace with this, and it's no longer like a thing I have to keep bringing up, I think, is the idea of Reg having like some kind of initial malicious intent going to the surface that he's like forgotten about, right? There's no way, right? There was already, like, with his connection with Liza from before, I had already kind of put that out of my mind, but it seems like he was still, like, a good person, even before he lost his memories, right? He was hanging out with Faputa. So I don't think he was ever, like, evil or anything, and maybe that was silly for me to ever think. I just could imagine that being a twist that the story would go with. Because ever since it showed off that he has this crazy weapon attached to him and all this shit, I've always thought that really could be an angle that it's going. But no, no way, right? No way. So Nanachi's walking through the market with Majikaja. We talk about value, and she thinks about stepping on him. I guess that could get him some value. I don't know. Um, we're talking about value. We talk about, yeah, that the village itself looks into your soul to know how much things are valued, right? So it is truly like this perfect objective system where it's like, oh God, what would you even call it? It's kind of like a perfect market system in a way. Because instead of the value of like things that are being traded just being agreed upon as like a universal, like, $1 is worth $1, right? It's everything is uniquely valuable to every person in like this perfectly enforceable way because the village actually looks into your soul to know how much you value something. So essentially it's like impossible to ever rip someone off or be ripped off. Unless someone steals your value. If you accept a trade with someone, then it's always fair because you think that thing is valuable just as much as whatever the thing you're giving them, right? I don't know. It's very interesting. I still don't know what to think about the idea of assigning this kind of value to like wishes and desires like this, right? It's a very strange system. It feels so inhuman in a way to even like think of a system like this. I mean, I guess it works because it looks into your soul. So it does look at whatever it is that makes those things have value to you in the first place, right? But it just feels really wrong in a way, to look at someone's wishes and desires and assign any kind of like value to it at all. Even though with the way it works, it's like fine. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's very interesting. What it reminds me of, and I don't know if this is just a weird connection to make, it reminds me of like the society of Orth in general kind of functions like this in a way, where it's like there seems like this big culture around, the abyss and all of this, right? And it's almost like it seems like the system in Orth profits in some way from people becoming cave raiders and all of this, right? Like, I mean, there were literal children in the orphanage who had to go into the abyss and find stuff for money to keep the orphanage afloat, right? It seems like it's a pretty profitable thing to get stuff out of the abyss. And it's almost like you could say Orth itself profits off of and uses those wishes and desires that people have of wanting to go into the abyss for like not really nefarious purposes, but it's a similar thing to this, right? They use them for this purpose of like getting value from it. This system is different because of this whole like soul thing. Signals of the soul include one's connections. That's I don't know what that means exactly. No matter what the mouth says, signals of the soul cannot deceive. But there's people out there who really believe their own lies, like Bondrewd, right? Like, I think Bondrewd really fooled himself enough to think he truly did love those kids, and that he truly was doing what was in some way, like, best for humanity, right? Stuff like that, right? And I think Bondrewd truly believed those things on some level, right? I mean, certainly, like, this whole idea of love between him and Prushka, he really believed in that. So yeah, I mean, I think for him it would be some kind of truth. Like, I think for Bondrewd, this idea of love between him and Prushka really would be something that he valued, even if it's so absurd to anyone else. Because if he loved Prushka, he wouldn't have turned her into soup, right? But it's based off his valuation of it, right? That's how it gets the value. So sure, as rough as that is to like recognize, right? Hmm. And yeah, we bring up MIDI, right? Of course, the first thing that she says is MIDI. And Majikaja reacts to that, and I just didn't understand what was going on. I thought, like, at first when I was reading this, I thought he meant, like, I thought some crazy shit was going on, that MIDI, like, spawned into existence because of Nanachi valuing her, right? But no, apparently Bondrewd has apparently been here before, and brought MIDI here, which I assume is like a clone of her, right? I mean, that sounds like a Bondred thing to do, to be cloning some things, right? Um, Bailoff of the three sages is using her. In the reaction, I literally didn't even say anything about this line, because I was just thinking about MIDI, but I did realize when he said Bailoff, don't worry. um, Bailoff is using her. I don't know what that means. Majikaja always says weird shit like this. He says, he said that the guy was doing Prushka, and that he always says weird shit like this. So, like, I don't know what it means to be using MIDI. But who knows. The warm, massive curse that the masked man left behind. So, Like Bondrewd's been here, and I guess that makes sense. I guess Bondrewd can do it. He has infinite lives, right? All it would cost him is a vessel, like one of his Umbra hands, I suppose, right? Um, sure. I guess he can just. I guess he's already conquered the abyss. Essentially, he can go wherever he wants. So I guess he's been here before. He's been to the sixth layer. Why not? I guess. Man, MIDI. Okay. I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know. I don't know. Like I wonder when. I don't know. I wonder why Bondrewd even bothers continuing. But no, the only reason he would bother continuing his research and stuff after he individually has conquered the abyss, this is the frustrating thing, is because he must have truly wanted to find more research and like have other people benefit from it too. That must be it. If it was purely selfish reasoning for him wanting to just explore the abyss himself, he could have just done it ever since using Zoaholic and having the infinite lives, right? He could go wherever he wants in the abyss at that point, right? Ah, that's actually so frustrating. And that means truly, I think, that his research on the blessing and everything actually was, in his mind, for the greater good and like for humanity. That's insane. That's actually so frustrating. We're back with Regan Fapita. And man, so I mean we already kind of said it, right? That Fapita is the only one who knows anything about Reg from before he lost his memories. I think it's very funny that this this is the exact same thing he said to Rico in like episode 1, right? When she God, what did she say exactly? Can I get the exact line out of my memory? Probably not. I don't remember what she asked. Didn't she ask if he can speak or something? I don't know. I don't remember. Either way, I feel bad for Fapita, because really Reg doesn't remember her, and it seems like they were very close to each other, right? Um, she's very suspicious of him, which I guess I can't really blame. It does seem very strange that he lost his memories. That obviously wasn't part of the plan, and apparently the plan was to get his Haku, whatever that means exactly. Well, I guess we kind of know what it is, right? It's most valuable thing, or whatever. That's what she says, right? Hmm. And for Fapita, yeah, she literally calls Reg Fapita's precious. So seems like they were, yeah, very close with each other, right? Hmm. And God, I don't want to watch that again. Here, wait, where is it? I skipped too far ahead. Here we go. Here we go. So she asks the human child and the hollow child, which is your Haku? Haku means highest value thing. And Reg said that he was going to get his Haku, right? Yeah, you said you'd bring your Haku. God damn it, I have to look at it again. I don't want to look at his belly button. He said he would bring his Haku. So, okay, so Reg's goal in going up through the abyss, right? That's where he met Fapita here, we assume, as he was like ascending the abyss, right? Um, he told her that his goal was to get his Haku, his highest value thing, which I guess we can assume is Rico, of course, right? That kind of seems to be like Fapita's answer by the end of this too, right? When she's talking to him about like living in the same time as the human child, right? All of that. The whole, like, the curse of immortality, right? The idea of outliving everyone you care about. Um, so his goal was to get the thing that is most valuable to him, right? Which I guess is Rico. Here's the weird thing about Rico, right? So his goal was to get Rico, which makes sense. We know he was like hanging out with Liza. Liza, for Liza, Rico would be very important, right? So if his goal, okay, I really got to like calm down here and like word myself properly. So his goal was to get Rico. Let's say he got that goal from Liza because Liza is Rico's mother, obviously, right? And you would think, like, okay, that's why Rico would be his goal, right? Liza wanted him to get Rico and bring her down. That does kind of go against what Liza said in, like, some of those Ozen flashbacks, right? Like, not wanting to take Rico's choice away from her, stuff like that, right? Like, would Liza really send Reg up just to get Rico when Liza said that she wanted Rico to be able to make the choice on her own? You know what I mean? Like, that's weird, right? The other idea is, of course, that it's not Liza, but it is Reg himself that Rico was so important to before he even met her, as far as we know, right? And the only reason that could possibly make any sense is because this weird thing about the name, right? You shouldn't know me as Reg. That's the name Rico gave me on the surface. And what did Rico say when she named Reg? That Reg was the name of her dog, right? But that's dead, right? What does that mean? Like, where are we going with this? What do we? Reg is the reincarnation of her dog. Maybe, right? In like a few episodes ago, there was all the weird comparisons between Reg and a dog. Nanachi kept calling him a dog, right? Like, I guess that's where we're going. I guess Reg's a dog. Um, but then like what? So we had his memories of being Rico's dog before? Like that's crazy, right? I mean, maybe. I don't know what else to make of that, right? The idea that Reg knew Rico before and that Rico was already so important to him before they ever met in the first place, as far as we know, right? Like the Reg that we know. So I guess that's really all I can say. Yeah, you said Reg before too. Yeah. Huh. So I'm really thinking now, since we have had this unfortunate parting between these two, that I don't know if we're ever going to be on good terms with Fapita again. I'm kind of thinking we aren't going to get many answers from her. You plan on living in the same time as the human child. Even when they die, you'll stay the same. What will you do? A very interesting thing for her to bring up. I wonder if she, I mean, it seems like it's been hundreds, maybe thousands of years. The other hollows in the village seem to be immortal, right? Like Wazukyan and Baloff are still hanging around. So is Vueko. Vueko still looks like a human, honestly. Um, and they're still alive. So Fapita's probably immortal too. So I wonder if Fapita has like a similar, understands this as well, Hmm. Oh, I am worried about what Fapita is gonna do. Anyway, Reg's lost, runs into Robot Guy. Wonder, like, what is up with him? He has the weird symbol on his thing, right? Hmm. Hmm. The undying embodiment of value. And so he thinks here, how would I, the past me, have answered that question? Even if I get my memories back, will I be able to stay in my current self? And that really is like the terrifying thing about being Reg, about having this weird thing with his memories, right? It's the idea that the way he is now and the person he is now could be so radically different than the way he ever was before, right? It's like if he got his memories back, it's like your memories and your experiences are what form you as a person and like what makes up like the way you are and the way you act. So it's like the fear would be if he gets his memories back, then it's like he could just be a completely different person. Which is just, I don't know, that's just a very like scary existential thing to think about. Right? Crazy shit starts happening here. I have no idea what to make of it. So a bunch of eternal fortunes start falling down. Nameplates, yeah, for funerals. um Sharumi cycles and returns to the netherworld. Are these all dead people? I guess. What in the world is happening to the Abyss? I have no idea what to make of this at all. um, I don't know. There's a bunch of dead people, I guess. Like what? So what? The idea is just a bunch of people died and were thrown down into the Abyss, and they all arrived here. I guess. How did they even get here? How did they get past like the Sea of Corpses? You know what I mean? Um, I have no idea what to make of this at all. I really don't know. Man, I don't know. Here's Rico hanging out with the toilet. I don't know if it's a toilet, unfortunately. It might be like an insect repeller for all we know, but oh well. So Reg and Nanachi and Rico are indeed split up. Rico runs into some serious trouble in a moment here. It seems like despite the balancing being such a threat to everyone in the village, they all know about it, obviously, right? Majikaji even said, like, since they all know about your value now, they aren't going to bother you. But I guess not everyone was there when that happened. And I guess Rico's worth so much, they're willing to risk it. Man, yeah, they all look very nice, huh? I wonder if she can see. I wonder if when she smells Minya in here, if she gets like the weird like extra sense thing from the movie. Because my theory on that was it was like worked with the force field, right? But I guess who knows? And the force field's not in the village, right? I don't know. Who knows though? Heading to the market. We have really split up, and I am worried. Obviously, at the end of the episode, we are led to Bailoff. No, that's never mind. That's Nanachi there, not Rico. What am I saying? Yeah, we were really split up, huh? For some reason I thought that was Rico showing up to Midi, but no, that's Nanachi showing up to Midi. Duh. So we are very split up. Yeah. Hmm. So she looks around trying to find Majikaja. The villagers hatch an evil plan to trap her, I guess. Which is really, really great. They want her that badly. I guess she's worth a lot, right? If they could break her down into value, they'd all win the lottery, I suppose. God. I don't like that guy. I don't like that guy at all. Not a fan of him. Not too much of a fan of him. And they really just want to kill Minya, apparently. Everyone just wants to kill Minya. Unlucky, I guess. But we get out. We escape. The balancing doesn't kill us. It's interesting, of course, yeah, that the balancing black stuff that Vueko was hanging out with at the end only it does only damage you if you like owe the balancing something, I suppose. Makes sense, I suppose. Ma is back. I don't know how Ma is alive after what happened to him when he got literally ripped to shreds, but sure, he's around. I mean, it looks like he's like weird and like discolored now. He wasn't like this before, so who knows? Maybe he bought some new body parts, I guess. Hmm. And we team up with Ma. Thank God. Don't want to leave him behind. So Majikaja is leading Nanachi up to Midi. Before that, we get a little pit stop here at this restaurant. Very nice, very cool. Yeah, Rico's definitely, yeah, I've never eaten out at a restaurant except at Auntie's place. Yeah, she grew up as an orphan, you know? She gets to eat at a real restaurant. Very fancy, very nice. She's really the only one getting to enjoy her time in this, like, fancy village down in the abyss, right? I guess this is, she's the one who would truly enjoy it. It's what she's always wanted. Hmm. But we meet another hollow here who can speak our language, this green lady. Very cool, very cool. I guess we knew that. We knew from a few episodes ago that there were a lot of the people here were cave raiders who came down here. And how did Majikaja say it exactly? Like sacrificed their bodies and like became one with the village, got a body in line with their desire, whatever, all that stuff, right? So yeah, I assume this lady then was a cave raider, right? And here she is. But Rico gets some fried smoked testicles or something. I guess. Hey, it looks good. Who knows? God, I want Nanachi to try this too. How would she react? Hmm. And here is Wazukyan. So Wazukyan is here, Bailoff is here, Vueko is here. Wazukyan. So I thought this was Vueko because his head looks like Vueko's hair, right? But no, this is Wazukyan. Um, he really looks inhuman, huh? It's interesting how Wazukyan and Bailoff look so inhuman and so different, and yet Vueko still has her like human form. I mean, it looks like she's like chained up and like the title of the next episode, Concealment, certainly makes me think she's being concealed for some reason, right? I mean, it seems like she's like the one controlling the balancing almost, right? That's kind of the vibe I get from that, which makes sense. I said that before, how it would make sense if she was the one who almost like established the whole village. But that was when I thought Fabata being the embodiment of value was because she was Iramuri. But she's not. She can't. I don't think she is anymore. So I don't know if that makes any sense now. But this is Wazukyan, so sure. What's up? Hmm. And Bailoff is here as well, of course. With Midi, what value? Okay, so the first question here about Midi and Bailoff. Why did Bondrewd leave Midi here in the first place? Right? Why is Midi here? Why did Bailoff want Midi? What does Midi have to do with anything? Right? I don't understand. Like, I wonder if it is some weird value thing about how because Midi is valued so much by someone, Nanachi, that she almost inherently has some kind of value here, even though Nanachi wasn't here before. That doesn't really make sense, right? Um, but I just don't know. Like, we have to assume as well that Bondrewd got something out of leaving a MIDI clone here. That's what I'm assuming it is, right? Of leaving a MIDI clone here. He got something out of it. I don't know what. I don't know. And I don't know why Baloff would want MIDI. Baloff is terrifying, though, so that's good. And here's MIDI. Very cute. Cute little MIDI. Looks so less, like, distorted and destroyed than she does in, like, season 1, right? It makes you think this is... Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why she looks so much better. She has 2 eyes, right? She doesn't have 1 eye yet, which makes me think it was before Bondrewd, like, destroyed her a bunch. And I guess that's what he said. No, I guess that makes sense. In season 1, he said that her form became more distorted every time he, like, killed her and she resurrected, right? So I guess this is probably before Bondrewd discovered her immortality, killed her and tortured her a bunch, destroyed one of her eyes with the incinerator thing, all of that stuff, right? So here she is. So what does this mean for Nanachi, right? Like, what? I just don't even know. Like, God, I just don't know. Like, Nanachi just has to go through this again? Like, what are we doing? I just don't understand what we're doing with Nanachi as a character now, right? Because it felt like her giving up MIDI, like the whole thing that happened in the season 1 finale with, like, her MIDI dying and all of that stuff. I just don't know where we're going from here, right? Because now MIDI's just back. What does this mean? Like, what are we doing with Nanachi as a character now? I guess we'll just have to see, right? We just have no idea. I just wonder. I don't know. I don't know. But fuck. Man. Once one has finally found their treasure, what they value will shift, and their journey will end. A very interesting thing to say. That their journey ends once you found what you value. Which makes sense, in a way, right? Because everyone's journey, right, whatever you want to think of as a journey, life in general, or just on, like, a smaller scale, right, is always in the pursuit of something that you value, for the most part, right? I mean, that's the reason why anyone does anything, right? I mean, like, the thing that you value in any case can be anything. The reason why you do something, right? Like, it's pretty, you can go, like, pretty large scale with it, I guess. Like, pretty vague, Their journey will end. Wait, let me read this again. Once one has finally found their treasure, what they value will shift, and their journey will end. Okay. Trying to predict what we're doing with Nanachi as a character from here, then, makes me think the idea that what you value shifts once you have found your treasure and your journey ends. So, I guess for Nanachi, what she values hasn't really shifted ever since Midi's death in season 1, right? Her motivation for going into the abyss hasn't really changed and evolved that much compared to, like, Rico's from, like, in the movie, when Prushka and Rico are talking. And we talk about for Rico, it's like this big, huge, massive things that have come together that all group up to form, like, a large motivation that are all these different things for this reason why she's doing what she's doing, right? That started as one original thing that she wanted to pursue, and she's gained more and more, It's almost like you could say that is Rico's what she values, like, shifting in a way, I suppose, right? Not through her fulfilling what she values, right? She hasn't found her treasure in that case, unless you mean, like, finding something that she really values in terms of that, like, finding a treasure, not actually achieving it, but, like, having that thing in mind, maybe. Has that really happened for Nanachi? I suppose not, right? What she values hasn't really shifted. She hasn't really found, like, a new purpose, right? It's like kind of like those sad lines from the movie when she said, like, oh, I don't really think I'll be able to see Midi again, And it's like, and if that's true, if Nanachi actually thinks that she won't be able to see Midi again at the bottom of the abyss, then what has what she values shifted to, right? What is it now that she truly does value, So maybe that's what we're bringing up here. Maybe that is in some way going to be answered, going to be fulfilled through whatever happens here between Nanachi and Midi again, right? Who knows? Who knows? And here's Voiko. Yeah, it's like she's all chained up. So these are all, like, the balancing blobs. And it's, yeah, she has, like, a collar on. She's, like, got all these, like, chains, it looks like, And she's still human. What does that mean? Is she in control of the balancing? Maybe. Like, again, that kind of makes sense because to me, again, the balancing makes so much sense from the mind of someone who, like, the characters in the story, like Voiko and like everyone in Ganja, it seemed like were like outcasts in a sense. For what they were pursuing, it seems like the idea of this balancing system and like the village, the system for it would be very attractive to them. So Voiko being the one behind it makes a lot of sense. But why is she concealed, if that's what the next episode is saying, right? Why is she chained up? Why is she trapped here, right? Is she being forced to do it? Is she being forced to be the balancer? Maybe, right? Who knows? I guess we'll just have to see. I wonder. It's good to see her, though. I love Waco. Um, I guess that's it. Okay. I feel like there was more stuff I could say. This discussion was kind of messed up. Honestly, I had to take like an hour-long break in the middle of it. I had a sudden thing come up, so I'm sorry. I hope it wasn't too disorganized. This was a rough one. But either way, this season has been so good so far. So please leave a comment, tell me what you think. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.